Good morning, my neighbors. Welcome to another episode of BYTTT. Before you take the trade, my goal here is to try to get y'all on par of making a little bit of money. And before you take the trade, you don't do nothing reckless. That said, the market has been moving very, very interesting throughout today. And where we are today is very interesting. We're kind of like consolidating. Let's go ahead and get NQ real quick. Right, NQ, you would think after all the tariff talks will probably be somewhere around, I don't know, maybe our December low. Nah, probably further. Maybe at least test November, maybe even test back in September. The August bounce was down here. But no, the market's like, no, we got some more smoke for the market, and they're literally continuing to push right back up. Hold on, bear with me for a second. Something strange just happened. Okay, that is interesting. All right, so now let's like really dig under the table of what's happening here. Well, the first thing is we are having support that's happening here, but again, I've taught my class something very simple. There's no such thing as an uptrend unless there's a higher low. What that means is stocks don't just do this. They don't just go up, right? Stocks do this, then they pull back. So that will be your higher low. But this is still not an uptrend. Yes, this was a nice trend, but you would have to go to like a smaller time frame to see that they had like pullbacks, then higher, then pullbacks, then higher, like that. That's what's happening in smaller time frames. So there is no such thing as a higher uptrend until it makes a higher low. There's our higher low. That one is not a higher low until this makes a higher high. Higher low always comes before higher high. So even though I'm going to draw this trend line right in this area, this is only one reason and one reason only. Because this area here is a potential uptrend. Because if we can make a higher high any point here, there's going to be a lot of people that was selling around this level saying, oh, I guess we can't get no lower. And the buyers just keep on buying the dip along. This is not trend. No, this is just letting me know where it can go if we break through this area. That's it. So is there a trade to be had today? Maybe in a smaller time frame, maybe along the lines of that. But generally speaking, no, this is probably very scary, very dangerous for you to try to take a trade for a long-term trade right now. So just be very conscious. Another one is gold. I think right now gold is probably the real play that you want to kind of spend your time in. I think they got to the level they want to get to, and it's time to test. They already tested the 2800 yesterday. Maybe we could get under 2800, come under this level, get to 2700. That could be the next play. But all of it is a retest because we have a new trend. Why do we have a new trend? Because we had this point here, boom and boom. Come on, get there. There we go. And then we had a deviation of that right here. And we have multiple deviations as this just continues to go a little bit parabolic. Get there. There we go. And this is the trend that we're on right now. So let me zoom in right there. You'll see that gold is just riding this area here. But the more vertical we are, the more it needs a pullback. If this thing cracks and comes to this level, we could get ourselves a nice little bounce around 2750, 2740, especially that we're in this upper register and there needs to be a pullback, letting the oscillators reset. All right, and let's do one more, the dollar. The dollar did something completely crazy because you'd think that this thing is gaining some strength. Let me go ahead and get. We're gaining some strength and we was going to take out this high and we're just going to continue. But that's when we just decide, hey, those tariffs that we've been talking about, we're going to go ahead and hold off. We're going to hold off on Mexico. And then the market thinks it's really bullish. The market has an inverse relationship with this. So the more we think that the dollar is losing strength, the more bullish the market gets. To kind of give you a better sense on that, imagine if the dollar is weaker, that means it gives you more buying power. If the dollar is stronger, you get less buying power. Let's kind of go back a little bit. Let's talk pandemic, right? So the dollar during the pandemic, around that February, March, they started complaining, oh my God, there's COVID, right? Around here. The dollar strengthened up, and guess what? The market dropped. And then when we started to get that bounce around March, guess what happened? The market pushed up. And then when we got around mid-March, it did another massive drop. By then, this is what I call the Jay Powell line. This is when Jay Powell kept it at zero for a long time, weakening the dollar. All the way down into 2021. Did a double bottom at the end of 2021. Made a nice little W. And this is a signal letting you know, okay, the dollar is strengthening and the market is going to drop. And that's why 2022 was so weak. Scared some people out. Lost value again. Came down onto this level. And this is why we had the bull run that we've had all year. Because the dollar strength was around that 100 level, which hasn't been really down in that level since about 2022. Give you a little fun fact about strength of the dollar and how it affects the market. All right. If you haven't been on my floor before, we just keep things extremely simple. We don't like to make things complicated. Hey, good morning. Oh, nah, no worries. Yeah, because I kind of start up and start back. That's why. There's no worries. No worries. I appreciate that. But yeah, so what I will say is, like, we don't make things complicated. We got a lot of new people mixed in with some veterans, and we got some people that's in between being profitable and not profitable. So we try to make things very, very, very simple, so that way you can be a very profitable trader. We do two strategies. The first strategy is opening range breakout. We do it on the 15-minute. We take the market open and see if it breaks to the upside or the downside. We take the position, we make our money, and then we exit. The other part is we use market dominance. Market dominance is an indicator that I created that lets me know or anticipate what the next candle could be in the market. So I'll go over that real quick. First one, let's go to NQ. So NQ, taking yesterday's action, that was Monday. It went through Sunday here. We get to 9:30. That's when the market opens. What do we see here? We have a nice solid green candle, have a top wick saying where price has been, and a bottom wick, same thing. So now what we're going to do, we'll be bearish, which means we'll go below and sell the market if it breaks below this line. And we will be bullish above this line right here. Nothing complicated, very simple. So you can kind of see with the 15-minute that first they tried to get down there. It kind of had a little bit of a bounce. Then they gave it one more push around 10 o'clock to 10:15. And what happened? They closed below, looked like it was good, but the bulls grabbed all that liquidity. Now, this was when they officially kind of announced that they're pausing the tariffs. So this is not the most natural move, but it was very solid. I did play it to the downside towards the middle of the morning. Good thing I had to go to work because I went ahead and pulled back and it was like, yeah, this thing is not breaking my level. I'm out. Right. So this was really, 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 really good trade right then and there. But we kind of wrapped up to this top side. Let's go ahead and look at it at the 5-minute. So what we want to have when the opening range is set is a 5-minute candle breaking below. And what does that look like? Well, the first one, I did get stopped out of the first one, but I got in the second, was we came here and about 10 o'clock, we closed below. It started pushing up. I said, I'm not going to do that. So when it started to come back to this level, I did get in slightly early, but I was anticipating they were going to knock out these levels, and it did. So we had a nice little push to the downside, and it had one more candle where it pushed a little further, and this is our level of support. This is the area that they actually bounced it. So if you're just doing only opening range breakouts, guess what? As soon as it started to get to that green, you probably put your stop loss into profit. You made your money. You notice that we're going through this area. We do not play inside of this box. We try to avoid that box. But when we got a 5-minute close above here, which is this one, you had multiple opportunities to get in here. If you got on any one of these bottoms, this was a good move to the upside. To put in perspective, this was a close. Let's just say you got a close here. It pulled back like 124 ticks. Depending on your entry time frame, you could avoid that. And then when we finally took off from this level, we got up into this high. That was about 406 ticks. If you don't know what that is, let me go ahead and grab a calculator for y'all. 406 times $5 is about $2,000 of a move in less than 20 minutes. If you're doing micros, it's 203. All right, just to kind of give you a little bit of sense. But wait, Jeff, I don't trade futures. Oh, you don't trade futures? All right, let's talk about options. Let's go with QQQ and do the same ideology. The first 15 minutes, we would be, here's our market open, we would be bearish below this level. Hold on, let me fix that, make sure it's accurate. And then we would be bullish, grab a dot, above this level. Same action as NQ. Let's get rid of this. If we go down to the 5-minute and follow the same theory or structure or plan, here's our break, make your money, start to pull back, get out by here because there's no reason to let a green trade go red. Then we got another one, ride the momentum, continue down. That was a nice little move. Just on this alone, if you got it at the money, this is $1.51 of a move. You probably could generate about $150 to the downside. Coming back, nice little break. The 5-minute closed above right after this. You had a pullback of 72 cents, so that's $72 of a pullback. But then we capped out about 245. If you're at the money, that's $245. So that is what we're going to be doing today. So you got to be patient so we can take those trades. Another thing we do as a trading strategy is market dominance. I like market dominance on the 45-minute. It's not too slow, it's not too fast, it's just right. Okay, and what it does, it anticipates that we're going to reverse or look for reversal points, and then we can make our money there. To kind of give you an example, we had a massive move to the upside. This was part of that whole reversal, and when we got up to this close, guess what it did? It said, hey, we got a massive move. I anticipate the next 45 minutes will be red. So that means this candle closed at 10:45. Let's go down to the 5-minute, see what happened. At 10:45, right here, we anticipated a red candle was going to happen right after the close of this candle. This is our 10:40 to 10:45 candle. When we made this nice little move, we already had a bit of a downtrend happening. Nice and solid. So if you entered here with a stop loss at structure, you could have had from about here down to here about a $55 move. Depending on your risk tolerance, you should be good, because the target was to try to take out levels along the way. Didn't get that. It's starting to reverse. Gave you one more spike. Even that couldn't get there. You get out the way. Let's go ahead and look at the red list. Let's see what we got as far as tickers. So you kind of have our strategy. You kind of have how we kind of trade. We do opening range breakouts, and we also do market dominance. So let's look at this month's earnings. Who do we have? Let's go with something kind of mid-tier. I think everybody likes Disney. Let's go see what's going on with Disney. Let's come up to a daily and see what they have going on. Let's see if we can find some swing trades on Disney. All right. So Disney looks like we got ourselves a little bit of a bounce that happened back here. This was August 5th bounce. This is when everybody was just buying every ticker in the world. Massive buys. And then we got another deviation of this angle right here. And this is what we're riding on that gave us this bounce. But wait, we got this downtrend that happened right here. Let me fix that. We got a downtrend right here that we're breaking out of. So if everything is all equal, again, the earnings is on Wednesday. Not saying that you get in right now. Okay, earnings can go completely haywire, but let's just say after earnings, all of this holds and we don't break below this level. There's a possibility we can get into this 118 level. If you want to do something high risk, high reward, yeah, you would get in before earnings, probably at the end of the day, and probably even target somewhere around 123, which will bring us back to like March of 2024. But so far, this does look like it wants to be bullish. Let's go see what the weekly looks like. Yeah, the weekly is already bullish. Looks like it wants to go up. We're getting a nice little cross at the midway point, but it's not all the way down here. It's not in the best place. So if the sellers decided to short it here, we could be catching knives too. So be very careful with it. Maybe go with low risk, light leverage if you're going to take that shot. Let's see what else we got. All right, let's talk about NVIDIA. NVIDIA's earnings is coming up on the 26th of February, which is towards the end of the month. Let's see if we can find something along the way for there. Now, NVIDIA is coming off with some of their all-time highs around 153. Let's see what the trend lines are telling us. Let's go all the way back. January 2023. Oh, this thing's just been on a scale. Yeah, I think January 2023 is a good one. Nice little pivot there. Here's our first angle. Here's our second angle. Let's see. That's kind of sharp here. So I'm going to just park that there for a second. All right. I already know it's higher there. So that is our October 23rd pivot right there. Let's take that one. Oops, don't go nowhere. All right, let's see. Did we get back to it? Still not back to it. All right. So we got a little bit of our angles that we need. And let's just get one more deviation to kind of get more current price action. Let's go with this candle here. Still away from it. So maybe we can get to that area there. Let's see if we can break anything. Is there anything that's going to look like it's going to break? Not that one. I think we already broke this one. Yeah, we did break this one. And that is our higher high here. Okay, cool. So not only did we break, we gapped down and it broke it kind of violently because that's our gap down. We got a little bit of an imbalance here. So that imbalance could be the one that they're testing right now to see if they can get through. I would say if we get under 112 on the video, we probably come down even further. And then we're going to get ourselves a bounce somewhere around 100 and 104. Now, NVIDIA at $100 is probably a very choice situation because the closest we got after the split was about $91. But this trend line is over as far as how it broke. Let's see. Let's see something. We got a downtrend here that started the problem. It takes a micro trend to break a major trend, always. Start small first, kind of like a hurricane in the coast, around the Ivory Coast. Builds up real tiny and then turns into chaos. All right, so yeah, so I think that this downtrend right here is being created. If we don't break this line sometime today or maybe even sometime this week, we probably can go lower. Let's look at the weekly. Yeah, look at that. This is opening up, pointing down. The only saving grace is if this turns up based on the fact this is a fair value gap, if we can turn back up. But if this don't start to point up on the week and this week finishes red, we probably can get NVIDIA maybe 101, 105 right before earnings. But then it could bounce right after earnings. So in for a good time, not a long time. Okay, folks? Don't do nothing crazy. Let's do Google. I like Google at where it is. I think it recovered something very nice after their split back. What was their split? Their split back here got as low as $85 and then had a nice recovery. The lawsuits are all behind them and everything else. So a nice good rally. And right now it's just continuously making new highs. I think this is the new Apple, right? I think everybody's been playing inside of Apple and now they needed to park their money. Now they're parking it inside of Google. So this is a really, really good move. They are moving kind of divergently. I think that's the word, divergently. Or they're diverging. Because this is Apple. That's their competitor. Not New Pain. Wrong button. Bear with me. I'll fix that. Apple new price scale. All right, let's zoom in. You see that? So while Google was pushing up, there was two dips that Apple had. The dip back here in October and the dip down here roughly around that December, January. So I think there's a little bit of cash being parked inside of Google, possibly because they are a tech space and also an advertising space. They do separate themselves by that. Apple is mostly tech and subscriptions. So I think that's probably one of the reasons that all that's happened. So keep an eye on Google. I like it above 200. I think it will not stop above 200. We'll go over to the monthly to kind of give you a perspective. Look like party is just really starting to get started. Let's see if they meet their earnings. Good earnings, everything should pan out. They give 20 cents dividends. Boo. But at the end of the day, it's still money. And let's see, it's almost 9:15. We'll finish up with that and then we'll go to my volume list. Let's look at last month. Last month, RCL. Y'all remember I kind of told y'all about Royal Caribbean as we were coming up to that earnings. Nice little push up, broke the downtrend. We're going into the season of cruising, which is like that spring season. So I think this is a really, really good look for a ticker like this. They did surprise a little bit on the EPS. So that means they're returning good money to shareholders and they're increasing the EPS 1.63 to 2.49, and they're returning money on the revenue where they're increasing it there. So good guidance, getting priced in. So I think RCL is in a good position right now. Maybe get a little bit of a retracement, reset some oscillators, 2 hour, maybe the 2 hour, a nice little curl up here, maybe, and then it'll probably take up to the upside again. Let's see, 913. All right, so let's see one more. HCA. Let's do healthcare. Right in that motorcycle. All right. At HCA, looks like we're starting a little bit of a frenzy to the upside. I want to see it get around that 342 or even 350 level. It's a little bit down on the pre-market at 333. But I think this can give a nice little upside if we get a push like this and kind of hold that trend line. Let's go over to the daily. That's our trend line. Looks like it's struggling with holding 340. Like there's a strong sell-off that's happening. But if we get through there, there's a little bit of a gap that's right here at 362 that I'm really, really interested in if we can get there. I think if we can get there, we could test some areas up in here at that 395. But right now, we first got to cross the bridge. Can't run before we walk. And right now, that bridge is there. It's good guidance. Not good guidance. Good earnings, good revenue. It's in line. Hence the reason why there's probably not no solid investment here. 18 billion. They kept it in line. 5.7. Slight lower on EPS that they're anticipating. Very interesting on that case. Let's see how the market reacts to that. All right, that said, today what I like to do on Mondays is on Tuesdays is we'll do something along the lines of a paper trade, kind of get our practice going. Wednesdays is when we actually kind of like really solidify what we're going to plan for the week, and then Thursday, we're going to take some real trades. So that said, let me go ahead and log into my paper trade. Let me get over to, my wife was kind of toying with some stuff. Let's go with this one. All right, paper trade. And we go NQ. And let's see if we can get some warm-up trades before the market starts. Let's see, 5 minute. 15 minutes. And now, when I do these paper trades, what I would like for y'all, especially if you're newer, I want y'all to just look at the candles. Don't worry about the time frame. I just want y'all to kind of get a sense of what I'm looking for to happen and capturing whatever it is I'm looking for. Let me try to translate that a little bit. So if I'm looking at something from like a 15-minute chart, right? I might pull up a 1-minute chart just to kind of like see how I can get in. But I don't want you to get wrapped up on those price those time frames. I want you to just worry about the technique. Am I drawing a trend line? Am I looking at support? What am I looking for? Is it a level? Is it an order block? I want you to worry about that more than the actual time frame. The time frame is going to speed up a little bit of the thought process, and then you just kind of calculate along the ways of that. Ooh. Actually, you know what? I did say I was going to go through my volume list. I want to kind of point out something. I would never thought that this would fall in my volume list. This is Berk A. If you don't know what Berk A is, then you don't know Warren Buffett. Oh, that's what happened. Wow. Okay. So there was some profit taking that happened, and somebody stepped in and bought it right back up. Wow. So this ticker is not a mistake. It is not a mistake. It's not a miscalculation or anything. This is the original Berkshire Hathaway that Warren Buffett runs, and this is the ones for the original shareholders. He has never split. So the shares floated is at 551,000. So this is $696,000 to get one share of this company. This is actually accurate. So let's go all the way back to kind of put it in perspective for y'all of this company. They've done nothing but mergers and acquisitions, and they've been doing it for decades. Here's the chart as far back as time, which is 79, and I'm pretty sure it's even further back than 1979. But you can kind of see in 98 it was a $50,000 stock, and people probably was thinking like, there's no way it's going to continue, and it did. So if you had $50,000 in 2000 and put it in Berkshire, you're probably a happy camper right now if you have multiple shares. But yeah, the reason why I wanted to point this out is that means that they're wedging too. They missed on earnings by 4%. That's probably why people are getting out. But they're a well-ran company. If you have a Geico policy, Berkshire is your owner, just to kind of give you a little bit of a sense. Nice little trend here and here. The reason why I like charting this is because there is an affordable version, but you just don't get no voting rights. Yeah, I like what's happening here. So we kind of wedging right here. So I think they're going to go ahead and give it one more dip. There's going to be another dip somewhere. And this could be because, oh my God, Warren Buffett's partner, Charlie Munger, he passed away last year. And they were like the brains and the brawn of this whole entire company. So maybe people are like, all right, I'm going to survive to 2024 and I'm going to start taking some money off the table. Maybe that's the case here. So let's see how this holds up. Of course, Warren Buffett has a lot of the shares anyway, so he'll probably buy his own stuff. Here's Berk B. This is the affordable version. So if you ever wanted some exposure, it's the same exact chart. This stock has nothing but win, win, win. This is something that they built out. I want to say it was in the 90s. Actually, then we come back to the monthly. Yep, it was the 90s, right? People was like, it's just way too expensive. We can't get in. He built a Berkshire beer and said, I don't want to hear from y'all, but we'll share some profits with you. And that's what this is. So looking at this chart, again, same type of action. Looking like there is some profit taking happening. Probably hit the base of this monthly. Maybe get a nice low position, and then you could go ahead and take off to the upside on this. So look out for this level right around here. Let me see what else comes up in my volume list. Microsoft came up on my volume list, and I think that is only because Microsoft, yeah, I knew it. It's part of this whole entire top side area. We cannot get back up there. We had a nice little spike somewhere around, was that July? And we've been fighting to get back here. I think some of the buyers that stepped in here, they're probably like, yeah, we just can't get it. And January did not do them any justice. This is the January candle. So if February can't eat up all three of these, there's just going to be people just selling. So I think this is probably some repositioning. Let's look at the chart from here. Yeah, This 410 level needs to hold, or we're going to go back into the August buy up, and that's about 388. So maybe some Microsoft puts. Keep that in mind. Man, you came back in my volume list again. This is Starbucks. If you like coffee, Starbucks is another one that is good. If you're always spending so much on those overpriced coffees, maybe you could get your money back by buying one of these shares. So now, looking at what's happening here, I knew it. I had a feeling that we were going to go ahead and come down with all that news, and then they were going to just buy it right back up. They did. The only caveat to this, I want to see them take out 110. If they can take out 110, then we can get to 115, and then we could continue up. This is all built on something that I talked about earlier. I think it was maybe January 15th or 16th, somewhere around there, where I was explaining it looks like we're putting a head and shoulders right here, but then it looks like a very odd, it shouldn't be here, W, and if it does this W, you're going to get an extension to this side right here. So Starbucks is a good look here. All right, I think we did quite a bit of volume list. So Berkshire, Starbucks. Let me give you one more. Let me give you one more with volume. I did do Microsoft though. Microsoft puts. Yeah, that's a lot. I don't want to give y'all more than 3, so that way you get your charts, look at it. Microsoft, Starbucks, and Berkshire. Those are the ones that I would like for y'all to watch throughout this week, because it's coming up with very, very large volume moves, and they're very close to the 50 and the 200 EMA. All right, let's go find ourselves a paper trade. Let's get back to our paper trade. So what I like to look for as far as proper entries and everything else is that there's no such thing, again, like I said, if you're going to play to the upside, there's such thing as a higher high unless the higher low happens before it. So if I'm anticipating that that's going to do that, then I'm anticipating that no matter what, it's going to make nothing under here. It's going to stay somewhere around this range. And when it does that, finds an area, that's our next pivot. And then we're going to just continue high. It could be very sharp. It could be like this, whatever the reason, but it's just going to go high. That's how I look at it. And then inversely for a downtrend. So since this 15-minute is on a downtrend, I am going to look for something to the downside for a short time, because I am going against the proverbial trend. This is a higher high, higher low, right? Kind of have this. Boom. That's our high low. And when they broke this area, that's our higher high. So if there's someone sitting on the sidelines and they're waiting for some area between here and here, then this could really just turn around and go up here. So I got to just make sure if I'm going to play this down, I'm anticipating for it to go lower, that I find a good entry. So let's go to the 5-minute. See what this looks like. Yep, that 5-minute looked like it could cut through here, but it can also curl. So I don't like it there, but I will look at it at the 1-minute. Let's see what happens here. I think this might be the area where it might turn back around. Problem is, if we was going to go for this 15-minute, right? 15-minute going lower, continue down. Well, it needs to like really push through here, right? But the 5-minute, it's already down here, and they've tried to push this back up already. So it's showing a little bit of weakness. And then this is the 0 line. Can it get through here? Probably not, especially, 5-minute finish with a doji. Let's see what happens in the first minute. Let's see. Let's give it a little bit before we just jump into this trade. I'm going to do a light leverage. We'll do one contract. One contract is basically $5 for every 25 cents that NQ moves. Oh, this is going to be fun because we're going to go right into the open too. All right. I need to also get myself set up for a potential position. Let me use this chart. All right. Let me get these, put this here, put that there, and put that there. All right. All right, the first minute's in. Let's go. So yeah, I think we're gonna go up. I think it's going to push up and give us a nice little move. Let's go ahead and take that. We're gonna take it up. My stop loss is probably going to be. Let's do structure. I don't like averaging down, but there's a possibility I may take a shot at doing so. The problem is that 15-minute is really bearish, but I think we could get ourselves a nice little pop up before we do it. Not a good sign. Oh, there we go. Oh, there we go. That's what I was looking for. A little bit. Yeah, there we go. Nice little bounce. Thank you. You're so kind. To put in perspective, this is in money. It's 175, 130 right here. Kind of give you a little. It's $5 per tick, which is $5 per 25 cents. All right, that looks like it wants to hold. We got a little bit of a gap here. Not a fan of those. When I see that thing, it makes me a little paranoid. Yep, you see, they came back for it. Not a good sign. I was doing good. All right, we're gonna go ahead and tighten this up to break even, just in case this thing does something crazy. Got 35 seconds. I'm trying to hold on to it until this minute closes, but it's struggling. Let's just put it in. Can you get up there? Oh yeah, I think we're recovering. I think we're doing okay. Oh, all right. Be smart. Don't do nothing crazy. Always lock in profits. Don't let the green turn red. And that's what we're going to do right there by doing that, by sliding into profit. Let's see if they can respect me and not come all the way back down here again. All right, that looks like a solid green candle. Oh, look at that spike. They spiked it. Took me out. All right, that's fine. I'll take it. I'd rather walk away with $10 than for me to get a negative. But it was still good. We got up around 200 bucks. Go ahead and put it in the chat. Would you have taken 200 bucks instead of letting it come back 10 bucks? Let's do a little mindset. Would you have taken the 200 bucks? See if YouTube has anything for us. And this is why we put stop loss. Look at this. They came back and they're going under it. But what I like to see, these candles, it's making higher low candles. Like it couldn't get down here, couldn't get down here, couldn't get down here. We got in at the end of this candle here, had a nice little spike up here, could have locked in some profits there, but just locked in break even. I was willing to let it get to break even just so I can see if we can get more than 200 bucks. That's the reason why just getting the 200 bucks is not the way to go. All right, market is opening in 35 seconds, so we can get ready to do our opening range. And I do have a hard stop at 9:45. So how it works is I'm going to give you the opening range levels. Be patient. Focus on the process. Make sure you wait for the 5 minute to close above or below, and then you take the trade. All right, 5 seconds. There we go. All right, we're starting to kind of push to the downside a little bit, though violently. Let's take a step back to the upside, see what's going on here. Let's get rid of you. Here's a 4-hour candle. There's 30 minutes left on this candle, but this 4 hours was weak. This 4 hours barely even moved. It did move, but nothing spectacular unless you caught this bottom. But this 4 hour is very tricky. All right, let me get some other charting done. All right, so far, if the market was to close our 15-minute right now, it would have did a upside right here. We're going to adjust this accordingly, and our downside would be here. Nice little solid 15-minute trying to accumulate. You see that trend that they're doing? They're trying to keep it at a certain level so they can be able to liquidate some of those bears. Let's see if they can do it. Nice little push there. They try to get into that 406 level. They're trying to liquidate some of the bears. So when I'm saying liquidate, they're basically like, my stop loss was at structure, right? So some of those people's stop loss that was going to sell to the downside, they probably put their stop loss at these areas. So they forced them to close their position, aka liquidate, and kind of beat them up a bit. Let me get my thinkorswim on. I may look at some opportunity. All right. All right, so let's start with this here. Let's see if we could get a scalp here, because this thing looks like it's starting to set up something really, really nice here. And well, for those that's new, scalping is just quick little trades, kind of like what I did with that 1 minute. We'll just take a little bit off the top. I see something that could be an opportunity. So let us are you able to knock that out? It looks like we could knock that level out, but it looks like they could cool it down. Yeah. See how much of a cool down they can get. Maybe come back to 443. What I like about scalping, it kind of lets me practice my entries, keeping it sharp, keeping it clean, and if it breaks my rule, get me in the rhythm of getting out of my trades without any emotion and objectivity. Oh, there we go. That was that 443 or 443-ish. See if they can turn it back around here, which I think they can. All right, possibly here. Well, I don't have no real support of it though. I thought about taking it there and just continuing into that upside, but yeah, I had a feeling that they're going to, but I'm coming way too close to here, and I wanted a better price. I wanted something closer to 443, but it happened way too fast. So we let it go. It ran away without us. It went Usain Bolt on us. All right, so if this candle closed like this, we'll probably be around bullish around here. Yeah, the bulls are really having some control here. Oh, what time is it? So we're 6 minutes in. Yeah, I think we want to finish this really, really strong green. Yeah, RCL still moving up. Oh, Netflix look like it's gonna go back to 1,000 again. That's one that needs a split. Netflix and Eli Lilly, another one that needs a split. Nvidia's doing a solid little rally. Look like semis are pushing again. Should I take this shot this time? I think a lot of this move when this 15-minute has happened. Oh, there we go. Another level right there. I think they want this one here. But let's see if we can keep this party going. Like at 443, that was that level. That's the one. That was the one. Nice little bounce. Couldn't get out of that area. We could get up into here. I'm gonna take a shot. I know it's a little bit tight for that. Take this shot to anticipate that. Now they kind of made that high. Let's see how much higher can they go. I think they want this area here, so we'll probably do like a target about here, somewhere around there. And so far, this is $205 move, 260. Boom, 305. Nice little scalp, and we're establishing more of this bullish side. That was a good scalp. Good scalp, folks. Good scalp. They are really making it. What are they targeting? Let's see something. Let's come up to a 4 hour. What are they looking for? Could they really be trying to get back inside of this value gap that happened back here on Friday? Very interesting. Oh, we're still going. We are still going. And I'm trying to stick with the rules. We gotta wait for the first 15 minutes. But this consolidation right here, that was a solid one to kind of piggyback off of. But it's higher risk, higher reward. If you are willing to take that risk, make sure you have the proper leverage in case the pullback happens. Right now we're very directional, very vertical, especially at this open. All right, so we got 2/3 of this candle complete. Let's go adjust this again. That yellow line is my 800 EMA. So what that means is basically 800 candles ago. That is the average price along the way. And it kind of makes these lines. All right, can we build a base here? All right, we got like 4 minutes before we establish our opening range breakout. There's some profit taking in happening right now. We've established the range. Psychological levels are very important. Like right here, there's a level here, and we're just gonna call it 21,500 on a dot. I think this is where they want to try to stay above it. This is the area because this 800 that the sellers would like it below it. Okay, okay. We got 3 minutes and 30 seconds. Come on, baby. I think you're gonna stay green. You're gonna stay on that bullish side. Can you do it? Oh, Netflix did get back to 1,000. What a move. What a move. How much of those bears do they liquidate there? Yeah, Apple's still getting beat up. Microsoft is down. They're at that 410 level I was just telling y'all about. Oh, HCA. Okay, HCA. I like that. Nice little boost. Oh, they're selling that off. Let's see if HCA can get into that 390 level. All right, 2 minutes and 17 seconds. Does it stay above 500? My money is on yes. Oh my God, Spotify. I think they had earnings. They must have knocked it out the park. Oh no, they missed it badly. They're grabbing liquidity. And a $64 move on Spotify. If you don't know who Spotify is, there's a lot of good shows on these areas. Like Spotify has like Joe Rogan and all that stuff. So they're basically a media company now versus a distribution of music like how Google Music and Apple Music is. Well, Apple Music kind of has those podcasts as well. But Spotify, you need a subscription to Spotify to listen to some of those shows, kind of like Sirius XM kind of thing. All right, let's get back to over to NQ. Let's see where we're at. Where are we at? Yep, look at that. Nice little base, nice little solid move. And Netflix is pushing up past that 1,000. This is a Netflix driven, in a way, ticker. So as Netflix keeps on going, Meta looks like it's dropping a little bit. This could be dragging that up. I think Spotify is in there too, but a smaller position though. So this is probably driven by that too. Nvidia is driven. Nvidia has a strong position in the Qs, so yeah, that might be driving it. Nah, Oxy, don't bounce now. Just joking. You can do whatever you like. All right, we're almost to 9:45, establishing our position. We know what this is going to do. This is our low that's already established. This is 23 seconds. Unless they spike this and make a higher high, this is our high. And what we want to see is the 5-minute closing above there. Not this 5-minute candle, but the next one. The next 5-minute candle to close above this area. Got a nice little solid fair value gap right here. This is bullish. Let's see what the 45-minute has for us. It was a massive move, but it wasn't that strong of a move, so we can't do the market dominance type of setup here. So we're going to just stick with the opening range breakout. Let's come to the 5-minute. Yeah, 5-minute look like it's trying its best to continue to push to the upside. Oh, that was a nice little hammer down. Are they going to turn this thing red? Oh yeah, they turned that thing red. For a smidge. It might come down. It might just come down. Oh. I was actually looking for that downside too. And it kind of ran off before I could get into the position of it. almost putting in an evening star here. What is an evening star? Is when we have a nice little doji and then the star would be that break there. So you got a star like bullish, 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 consolidation, reversal, and a massive drop here. Let's see if we get the massive drop. That'll be the follow through. Look like the bulls are not going to let it follow through. They're bouncing it. They're trying to bounce it, but I don't think they got enough. Oh, or maybe they do. Got 2 minutes and 16 seconds on this candle. I want to see what this 5-minute finishes as. Does it close back above the top? I'm kind of bearish because I think they're going to retest this fair value gap. They're failing to do so with all these bounces. I think the bulls have full control. All right, we got a minute and 41 seconds. The bulls didn't really take it off anywhere. So could the bears come in with some foolishness on this last few seconds to a minute? Yeah, that evening star is out of the question now. I think we could get a pop up. I know I'm lingering a little bit longer than I want to because I did have a hard stop, but this looks very promising and interesting for more upside. They could also be waiting for 10 o'clock to really break it through. All right, we're in a 15-minute fair value gap. I want to see if we can fill it and come up to about 250, 2154, 21,541, somewhere around there. There we go. That's the 541. I got about 200 bucks. Oh, I'm gonna take the 200. Oh, they pulled it back too violent. I couldn't lock it in fast enough. I should have put my level of what I wanted and just took what I almost did that because I said 41, right? What it do, Rod? What's going on? Man, I should have took the fair value gap, the 15-minute fair value gap. I was like, that could be a problem because I saw an order block right above that fair value gap. Let me point this out for y'all, right? So we did get a 5-minute where we could be closing, right? But I saw this fair value gap and I was like, there's an order block here. I was like, that can be a problem. And I was going to put an order at 41 and just take it. And yeah, that didn't really work out well. Are you in it? All right, good. Nah, listen, this was a massive move through the opening range. again, I sit back for the first 15 minutes and let it do what it do. But it was a good trade. It was a solid trade. It wasn't much. Let me see what I finished with. 130. So, 130. That's okay. All right. That said, I want to say thank you very much for chapping in for before you take the trade. BYTTT. Don't forget there is deals going on for the Elite. You get a fast track account for 65% off. Click the link down below. Get yourself an account. That's for my seasoned traders. If you're a new trader, I want you to stick on paper trade as long as possible until you get profitable on paper before you try to take on any one of these challenges or use your real money. Also, the one-on-ones will come back after February 14th, after Valentine's Day. Got a couple things I have to take care of, and oh yeah, and then wifey as well. Anyways, but yeah, that's also the reason why I'm delaying one-on-ones. But anyways, yeah, so go ahead and sign up when they drop. It will be in the description for one-on-ones. Be patient. Okay, be patient, and then we could go ahead and get started there. And then last but not least, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell button. That way you know when I'm online. You can DM me at JD_the_great so you can get access to my Zoom that we kind of break down things before we open up a YouTube at 8:45. We start at 8:15 and we drop some gems there before we get started. So that said, have a great day. Be safe. We get a 5-minute close bill above. Is that what that is? We getting back above there. We're getting back above. Might get it. And then you could go ahead and play it to the upside. That's it. Have a great day. Good luck. Be disciplined.